Hey there friends, and welcome to another episode of DJ Suketu Unplugged. I hope you guys enjoyed the last 5 episodes that we spent in deconstructing the Sholay mashup which we did for Universal Music. If you in case missed those episodes, you can just click right here and you can go and view them again. Well, in this episode of DJ Suketu Unplugged, we're going to be doing something which is very important for every electronic dance music producer. It's something called sidechain. That's right, I'm sure you've heard of the term, and I'm sure you've heard the sound as well and the production that it creates when you use sidechaining. So let's dive right into it and check out Sidechain on Logic Pro X and in the next episode on Ableton Live. I came across the term sidechaining in 2001 when I heard this particular track called One More Time by this electronic French duo called Daft Punk. I'm sure you've heard of these guys. They are one of the best electronic producers there is on this earth. Well, they came out with a track in 2001 called One More Time when I was just DJing and spinning music in clubs and everything. I just, could not understand how they got this effect, when they said one more time, that, and how did they do that with the synths and the pads? Well, basically what they did was used an effect called sidechain. How can you get a sidechain effect? You can get a sidechain effect using a compressor, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at in this particular project. So let's listen to this track that we've made specially for this particular tutorial. This track has got a kick, 2 hi-hats, 2 bass lines, a very, very minimal and deep house feel. But the best thing that is there in this particular track is the pads, which we call the dark swell pads. And this is what they sound like. Well, what if I wanted that particular effect of sidechain on this pad? Whenever the kick hits in, I want the sound to duck off the pad and then come back in again. So like I said, if you listen to the kick and the pad together, this is what it sounds like. No sidechain effect. When the kick comes, the sound is there of the pad and it doesn't duck or it doesn't go down at all. Let's get into sidechaining the pad. What we are going to be doing is going down to the track where it has the dark swell pads, opening up a compressor. How do you open up a compressor? Let me do this again. Just go into audio effects, go down to your drop down, dynamics, compressor, and bang, we are on. We're going to be using the Platinum Digital compressor, which is done by Logic Pro itself, not using any other analog compressors. We're going to make this really simple and fun so you can use it in your next production. The first thing, let me tell you that sidechain does not work with a MIDI file. My kick over here is a MIDI kick. You have to have an audio file or a bus output to send the signal to the compressor to tell it to sidechain. So what I'm going to be doing is creating a track like I have over here. I've put in a hat and a kick. You can use whatever you want, and I've muted them. It's got no output. Then I'm going to go to my compressor. Hit the drop down menu on the right hand side corner where sidechain is written. I'm going to use ghost hat. Why have I called it a ghost hat? Because it's there, but it's got no sound. It's just giving its presence felt to work the sidechain. Well, getting back to the sidechaining, once we've selected the ghost hat, what you do is put off auto, put off the auto gain, bring the knee all the way to 1, get the attack really quick, a super fast release, get the ratio up to about 6.1, 5.1, whatever suits you, and then we'll start listening to the pad in solo. You can get a very, very slight effect on it, but not really there. But now once I start moving the threshold, you can actually feel the difference, and check it out. Can you actually feel the pad when it was just moving straight and then ducking every time the kick or the hat comes? Now if we listen to the pad with sidechain and without sidechain. So let's listen to it first without the sidechain. And now I'm going to put on the compressor and we listen to it with the sidechain. You ready? And that will actually change the whole feel of the track. So if I'm just listening to my kick and the pad without sidechain, this is what it sounds like. Pad is simple and straight. And now when I put on the compressor and give the sidechain effect, the kick and the pad will sound like this. can you actually feel it that every time the kick comes in, the pad just ducks down in sound and comes back on again? So that basically, my friends, is what sidechaining is. There's again one more tip like I like to give you guys on this one, that there is no particular measurement or particular values you need to set on the ratio, on the threshold, on the release or attack or the knee. Just trust your ears. You can make the sidechain as hard as possible or as soft as possible depending on your production and your ears. If you don't like a really hard sidechain effect, then just increase the threshold a little bit and you'll get a really nice and soft sidechain. But if you want it really hard and banging and you just want to hear that sidechain in your face, just keep increasing the threshold. Well, when we come back next week, we are going to be looking at doing sidechaining in Ableton Live using the built-in Ableton Live compressor. So stay tuned to DJ Suketu Unplugged. Do like, do subscribe, and do let us know what you want to learn, because we'll come back with those episodes soon.